welcome. Thank you for being here today. Today, I have one of my clients with me. I have Miss Kim with me today. Kim has done nutrition coaching with me through 2 pregnancies now. So, we are going to talk about what that was like for her, what she initially wanted to do, or why she initially signed up to do nutrition coaching after her first pregnancy, the differences in how she approached her first pregnancy to the second pregnancy, and then some like non-negotiables for her now after doing this, now having 2 kids, working full time, living life, doing all the things, and how she balances everything, and the lifestyle factors that really work for her now to keep herself a priority, but also be a good example for her kids as far as health and wellness goes. So thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just start back at the beginning. You were how old with your first pregnancy?
I was 34 when I had her.
Okay.
35 when I started with you, because I think I reached out in December, like right after Christmas, and then I was like, I need help.
Okay.
And I've been in my life ever since. So that was like 2019, I think.
20, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because we technically kind of had COVID babies, you and I
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were your struggles post-pregnancy with the first one? Why did you feel like you needed some help or some guidance?
Well, I mean, obviously I had postpartum anxiety, and I just needed to be able to control something. And I felt like the food choices that I just didn't have a good understanding of, macros, and then like just fueling my body to see any changes. Like I had done some fad diets, and they worked short term, but I just didn't understand, like, the reverse dieting, because I think we started out with upping my calories, and then just like getting the amount of protein that I needed for my body. Like I had no idea. And then obviously the gut health portion, I didn't understand any of that.
And you were working out, right? At that time?
Yeah, I mean, yes,
Okay.
in some sense, but again, I didn't know how to fuel my body effectively to see any changes. It was
Okay.
just, whatever what I thought was healthy,
Right.
um, but necessarily, like some protein bars or protein powders. But again, never understanding, looking at the ingredients to making sure that they were, actually doing what they were needing to do for my body.
Okay. Because you were an athlete basically your whole
Mm-hmm.
life. You've always been
Yep.
active and all of these kind of things. And then this was just kind of hitting a wall, I guess, of sorts. Like all the things
Yes.
that probably you've been done, in the earlier years weren't working
Right.
anymore. Yeah.
Right. Definitely things that I did in my 20s were no longer working for me in my mid 30s. And I was like, I don't understand. I mean, granted, in my 20s, I was mostly doing cardio, not sleeping enough, just all the typical 20-year-old things,
Right.
that you do. But that just wasn't happening with someone in their mid 30s having a baby. So,
Yeah. It changes.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, so all right, so we signed up for coaching. We got you started. We started with some exercise program. We
Hmm.
put in some strength training, like some, yeah, just some. I'm losing my words. This is perimenopause. That's perimenopause. But like we had specific exercise programming. Like
Yes.
you were on. We were doing specific exercises. Certain days were cardio. Certain days were
Yes.
strength. All that kind of stuff. And then
Yes.
yes, we started with you. You weren't eating enough, so
Right.
for those unfamiliar with a reverse diet, is basically you're upping calories, you're increasing someone's metabolism, gut health, hormones, like improving overall health while increasing calories. Most of the time, women will see weight loss with the increase of calories. And then you get up to a certain point, maintenance or whatever it may be. And then we may introduce a cut, pull some calories back, tighten up a little bit, reverse back out of it. But basically that's what a reverse diet is. And what I still do today is trying to get clients calories up and then work on cutting out or tweaks or whatever to get whatever they want to do. I don't know. I just wanted to explain that for those that weren't aware. Okay, so we did all that. You lost weight. You look great.
Hmm.
I'll put some before and after pictures up right here of Kim after her first round that she did with us. Then, did great. Lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
factors were built, habits were formed, and then pregnancy number two came. And you were how old with
Yes.
pregnancy number two?
38. So
38. Okay.
geriatric pregnancies,
Yeah.
or like they like to call it. So that's
Yeah.
fun.
And so, what was different about going into your second pregnancy from all the work you had done with the first pregnancy or post pregnancy, that you felt different, did different? What was that like this time around?
Nutrition was definitely better this time around. I mean, granted, I was still sick. I still had really bad like morning sickness the first trimester with the second. But I was still exercising. With the first, I wasn't. So I was still, trying to get some, you know, nutritional food in, um, and then keeping active just to help, labor go easier. Just be overall healthy and feel better, because I feel better mentally when I work out. So just trying to keep those habits, in line, just to be a better mom for my daughter, and then just help, with labor and my mental state.
Right. Right. Yeah. Do you feel like you held pretty good energy? I know past the sickness, once you hit in second and third trimester, you feel like you held pretty good energy and muscle mass and all
Yeah,
that?
yeah, it's definitely second trimester, and I think I probably cut out working out maybe 37 weeks, or maybe not cut out, but we just, I think,
Backed
36,
off.
37, because I had him at 38 weeks. I was induced at 38 weeks. So I think, around 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, maybe we were like, let's just walk and,
Yeah.
you know
What felt good?
like, yeah, yeah,
Right. Yeah, but I mean, you strength trained, I
I
mean,
did.
hard and heavy all the way up
Yeah.
to then. Yeah. So how would you say then, post birth of your son, your daughter was first and then your son,
Hmm.
how would you say like the post recovery, was there any difference with him versus her because of those factors, do you think?
Yes, definitely. I do think I was definitely in a better mindset.
Okay. That's
Like
huge.
knowing I've done it before. I mean, because initially going into my second pregnancy, I was like, I worked so hard to get where I wanted to be, and I'm going to have to do it all over again. But then I was like, and I think you and I had even talked about it. You're like, you've done it once before, like you
Mhm.
can do it again. I mean, granted, it's probably taken a little bit longer this time, just because, I'm 5 years older. I'm
Right.
40 now.
Mhm.
Um, but definitely keeping up with those habits definitely helped me, um, start at like after 6 weeks postpartum, like going in slowly, and then just not having that all or nothing mindset, like
Yeah.
realizing I'm not going to be, I don't know, lifting, whatever I was lifting prior to, like I'm going to have to work up gradually. So I
Yeah.
think that was just, my mindset was just definitely better going into postpartum recovery, postpartum, getting your, you know, pre-pregnancy body back.
Mhm.
Um, and then I had that educational tip. Like I've done worked with you, before, and then I continued to work with you throughout my pregnancy. So I knew certain things versus my first pregnancy. I had no idea like any of
Right.
this.
Right.
Um, so it was kind of just like a guessing game first pregnancy. This one I had, better ideas or better knowledge of nutrition, um, exercises for specific, things that I needed, as far as like hips and knees and
Right.
whatnot. So,
Well, good. Okay. What would you say, like, to any moms that maybe are struggling, post pregnancy or in that same mindset of like going into a pregnancy, like, how am I ever going to get back to what, I was before? And like those kind of things that we all freak out
right,
over, and have
right.
anxiety over going into a pregnancy, post pregnancy. What would be like your three biggest takeaways, non negotiables, tips? Whatever you want to call them, for a woman that might have been or is in your shoes when you were.
I put away the guilt of putting yourself first, because I think us as moms and
Yes.
women
Yes.
have just been, I don't know, have this
Conditioned.
condition to put everyone else's needs first. Put yourself
Mhm.
first, because if, like I said, if I don't work out, I am crazed. So just kind of get rid of that mindset of I'm going to do this once everyone else is taken care of. No, you
Right.
put yourself first in whatever capacity that is, and what you're able to, and what works best for your family. Workout for me is non-negotiable. Walks are non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, do I always want to? No, I don't. But
That's life. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think about it, and then I'm like, think about how I feel afterwards. But definitely looking back, especially with my first pregnancy, it was a lot of excuses, or just a lot of this isn't going to happen. And then I found had been following your Instagram account for, I don't know, several months.
Mhm.
And I talked to my husband. I was like, I'm going to do this. And he's like, okay. And then it, that was that. So putting yourself first.
Yeah.
Um, Second, find a group of friends or women that are in your same mindset. I mean, I know everyone's got different friends, but definitely having someone there to kind of kick your ass. I mean, like
Yeah. Hold you
telling you,
accountable. Yeah.
right, you hold you
Yeah.
accountable. I'm trying to think of a third non-negotiable. For me, sleep. Like I have to have it.
Yeah.
Like
There you go.
9 o'clock. I'm just like, it's time, my body's winding down, and I'm usually in bed by 9:45. So, and then another one, like I don't drink alcohol as much. Before, especially during COVID, I like to go to concerts and do certain things. COVID kind of nixed that in the bud, and I just learned to like have fun without it. So that was a big one. Like I don't drink as much, or finding other ways to socialize or whatever.
Right. To let
Okay.
go and find
Yes.
your, yeah, just
Yes.
your mom time or your
Right.
non-mommy time, and yeah, just be back to Kim, not just
Right.
mommy
Just
Kim, but be
mom.
Kim.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
be Kim.
Exactly.
So,
So,
okay. Well, anything else you can think of? I think this has
I
been
mean,
very helpful.
I definitely think if it's right for your family, and like if you're able to do it, hire a coach to help
Yeah.
you, to get it. Because that is the one thing that I am like really thankful for, was that I reached out. Like I was kind of scared. Like I think you were full. Actually, your clients had been, your round was booked, but I think because you felt sorry for me, and I was a new mom, and you were like, yeah, come, I'll take on one more client. And that, you know, just, if
So I
just
could rate
reach
because
out.
your daughter, our daughters are what, 5 months apart?
5 months apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And so we were, I don't know, we related, and now our daughters are friends. We're friends. It's
Friends.
become,
Yep.
so it's been a very um full circle thing for both of
Yes.
us to do
Yes.
this. Yeah. But
Absolutely.
yeah. But yeah. I mean, yes, obviously hire a coach. And I'm big for that. I'm big for having, though, and you are too, having a circle. Like, having a therapist, having a financial advisor, like all the different areas of health that we have in our life,
Yes.
having somebody for that, because you
Yes.
can't do all of this. You need
No.
to do what you're good at in that, and then let everybody else do what they're good at.
Absolutely.
And I think that having that circle of, like your team or whatever, is a big game changer
Right.
for making you just successful in life in all areas.
Yes. Absolutely. I agree. So,
You got to reach out. And I think women too, like you said earlier, that's part of putting yourself first.
hmm
They don't do that. They're like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll take care of that later. Oh, the kids have, it's soccer and it's this and it's this. And once that's over, then I'll take care of me. But the
right.
next thing the kids have got something else. And so, or life happens, or work is like, oh, I'm getting ready, I'm so busy at work and blah, blah, blah. And all you're saying is just, you're going to keep putting on weight. You're
Right.
waiting to feel worse. You're
Right.
waiting to feel like hell. You're waiting till you go to the doctor and they say you're pre-diabetic, you need to get on cholesterol medication, here's medicine to sleep at night.
Right.
Like, so you've got to put yourself first.
Right. Exactly. So I am always a big advocate of like asking for help, or
Yeah.
if you don't know, find out, like reach out to someone who does.
Yeah.
So
Right. Resources, use them.
yes. Yes. So
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you being here
Of
today.
course.
Again, I
Thank
think this
you.
was very helpful. I think a lot of women can relate to this because I think a lot of women are in your shoes. I know, from working with clients and then just talking with other women,
Right.
kids, when we have kids, it changes
It,
everything.
it
And
does.
but you can't lose you in the mix of that.
Right. And it is hard to make that shift, but I think once you find that balance, then it makes everything easier. So,
Yeah. And like you said, being okay with like, you can be selfish. It's quite okay to
uh,
be selfish. I have zero
absolutely.
qualms with being as selfish as I
Mm,
need to be to get my stuff
right.
done. Yeah.
As long as like my kids are happy and
Yep.
loved and fed and all
Yeah.
their things are being met,
Yeah.
so I'm good with
Exactly.
that. So,
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being here today.
yeah, thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. If you have any questions or need anything, you can find information at CynthiaWilliamsWellness.com. I have a ton of free guides there as well, calorie guides, menopause guides, thyroid guides, things like that, where you can get started with building your foundation and feeling better. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye.